Up next on Lion TV, Samuel Stubbs has a new story on the Rialto and a segment on the storm and its damages.
And me, Jordan Jones, with all your exciting new March Madness bracket information. All that and more, Lion TV starts now.
Happy Wednesday, Searcy High. Welcome back to another episode of Lion TV. I'm Warren Kemp.
And I'm Marley Snow. We hope you had a great weekend, Searcy. Now let's get straight into those student announcements.
Any student trying out for Lion Steppers needs to bring their tryout paperwork to Ms. Hightower this week in room 113. Tryout week for Lion Steppers is April 1st through April 4th.
Wilbur D. Mills Co-op is offering an ACT Prep Day next Tuesday, March 18th, for students wanting to improve their ACT scores. Due to the scheduling activities going on next week, this will be available for juniors and seniors. There is a sign-up sheet in the counselor's office. Please email Mr. Hughes if you have any questions.
The Varsity Lions basketball tryouts will be April 23rd from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. at the Searcy High Old Main Gym. This is for all students going into 10th to 12th grades who are interested in playing high school basketball. You must have an updated sports physical turned in prior to the start of the tryouts to participate. Email Coach Sitzman to register for tryouts at ksitzman@searcyschools.org.
Seniors, Johnson's will be coming tomorrow on March 19th from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. to deliver graduation supplies for seniors. Please make plans to be on campus at those times. Hey, I heard the Rialto has been around for almost 100 years.
You heard right. Samuel Stubbs has a story coming up to tell us all about the Searcy's Rialto. Let's send it over to him.
One of the most iconic landmarks in Searcy sits just a few paces from the White County Courthouse. It's the Rialto Theater, a building where magic and movies have collided since the 1920s. We sat down with theater operator Stephen Gifford to learn more. The Rialto doesn't have an exact birthday, but Gifford has long been on the search for clues that can point to the theater's exact age.
We went through tax records, we went through old plots, old drawings, as much as old paper things that were in old bound books in the early 1900s. Somewhere between 1919 and 1924 is when this building was built, and it actually was opened as the Grand Theater, and they shut down in 1928 and opened up in 1929 as the Rialto.
It's not just the history that makes the Rialto unique. As opposed to a normal movie theater, high prices aren't in the script.
A lot of businesses, there's overhead. And the city, by managing the building, we have a lot of services that are included. We've got plumbers, we've got electricians all on staff. But without all that extra overhead, we can keep the prices down.
The Rialto bridges the gap between the past and the present. It's both a relic of history and an icon of modern-day Searcy.
When you go to a theater, you're bonding with everybody in that theater. And sometimes that's what we need. Even in 50 to 100 years, I think the theaters will persevere.
The Rialto is coming up on roughly a century of service to the city of Searcy, and it's poised to provide entertainment for many more years to come. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Samuel. I'm glad we have such a historic building in our town.
Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has declared a state of emergency following the devastating tornadoes that swept through the state, causing widespread destruction and resulting in multiple fatalities. At least 3 fatalities and 29 injuries as a cross-county storm system passed through the state. The fatalities occurred in Independence County, located in the northern part of the state. While injuries were reported across 8 counties, the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management has confirmed significant damage in 16 counties. In a statement issued on Saturday, the governor confirmed the allocation of $250,000 from the Governor's Disaster Response and Recovery Fund to direct of the ADEM. These funds will help cover program and administrative costs related to the ongoing recovery efforts.
President Donald Trump claimed that former President Joe Biden's primitive pardons of members of the January 6th selected committee and offers were void, vacant, and of no future force of effect. Trump, in a post to his Truth Social network, went on to say that members of that House committee are subject to investigation at the highest level, and basically accused of them being responsible for their own pardons without Biden's knowledge.
Harvard announced that Monday that undergraduate tuition will be free for students of families who make annual income of $200,000 or less in a move to make the prestigious institution affordable to more students than ever. The university will also make schooling completely free for students from families with annual incomes of $100,000 or less, covering tuition, food, housing, health insurance, and travel costs. The new expansion of financial aid will begin in the 25-26 academic year.
Hey Warren, this weather hasn't really changed the past couple of weeks. Is it going to get any warmer?
No idea, but I know Eric Crowley has all the weather information for us, so let's send it over to him.
Good morning, Tracy. Hi, we have quite a bit of weather updates to go through, so let's get right into it. Today's going to be windy with a high of 74 and rain at 13% chance. Winds blowing southwest at 23 miles per hour, humidity at 53%, and your sun rose at 7:11 a.m. On to tonight. Tonight's going to be also windy with the low of 40, rain at 1% chance, winds blowing west-northwest at 21 miles per hour, humidity at 51%, and your sun will set at 7:17 p.m. On to the almanac. Your last 7 days average was a high of 63, a low of 42. Monthly average of precipitation is 5.07 inches, and your month to date is 2.32 inches. On to that 5cast. Thursday will be partly cloudy with a high of 60, a low of 32, and a 0% chance. Friday will be mostly sunny with the high of 68, a low of 44, and a 2% chance. Saturday will be sunny with the high of 74, a low of 52, and a 2% chance. Sunday will be thunderstorms with a high of 70, a low of 45, and a 72% chance. And on Monday, it'll be mostly sunny with a high of 68, a low of 42, and a 5% chance. Despite that Sunday thunderstorm, the days are still going to be good. Now sending it back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks for the updates, Eric. Warren, I haven't eaten all day. I'm ready for lunch. Can you tell us what's on the menu?
I can. For lunch we'll be having breaded beef fingers, classic cheese pizza, classic cheeseburger, fajita marinated chicken, ham and Swiss cheese sub, fresh red seedless grapes, milk.
That sounds amazing. Make sure to thank our lunch ladies for all their hard work.
Hey Marley, isn't there going to be a big tournament going on this weekend?
There sure is. March Madness starts this week, and Jordan Jones has all the news for us.
Happy Wednesday, Cersei. In local sports, the 5A state tournament concluded this past weekend, and as for the 5A girls, it would be Farmington taking Greene County Tech, with both teams having an amazing showcase throughout the tournament. Farmington's freshman Easton McCullough would be the key player to watch out for during the game, and as for the season, she would have over 134 three-pointers with 40% shooting from the three specifically. McCullough would not be easy to stop during the final, as she would dominate the Eagles with a 25-point performance to lead herself along with her seniors to Farmington's first state title in 5A with a score of 54-44. The late main event following the 5A girls will be the 5A boys, with Maumelle taking on the Benton Panthers, with both teams looking to claim their first state championship title in school history. With the arena having a sold-out crowd, both teams would put on an instant classic, as Maumelle would lead against the Panthers by 5 with 13 seconds left remaining in regulation. Harrison Prickett would score 2 quick points in transition, and Ellum Shelby would get a steal and be fouled, but would then make 2 free throws to cut the lead down to 1. With 6.1 seconds remaining in regulation, all Maumelle has to do is inbound the ball, but Jace Tillman will step on the line and turn over the ball to Benton. Terrion Burgess would pull out a stunner and make the game-winning layup to secure Benton's first ever championship title, winning with the score of 58-57. Our SHS soccer team took on Greene County Tech this past Thursday at home, where the girls were looking to bring home their second straight conference win. The Lady Golden Eagles would bring the pressure throughout the first half, but Julian Smith would break Cersei's silence with the first goal of the game. Lily Simon would follow in her freshman footsteps with a goal of her own during the late moments of the second period. The girls would then stall for the remainder of the game as they came away with the win 2-0. The SHS boys soccer team would soon follow, looking to also pick up their second win in conference play. Cameron McMullen would get the game started with 2 quick goals within the first 5 minutes, making a statement towards the other team. David Montana would follow with the hat trick of his own with 3 goals throughout both halves, and Lawson Faulkner would also get his chance during the closing moments to help Cersei pick up the win 6-0. Their next conference game will be against West Memphis tomorrow night. Cameron McMullen is looking like a very scary player to handle during this conference season, and we were able to catch a quick interview with him to discuss his thoughts about the game as well as his hopes for the season.
I mean, those 2 goals were definitely like a reassurance, because I've been having trouble the past few games just putting them in. So getting those 2 goals, it felt nice because, I mean, obviously they were early leads too, so it kind of got our team going in the right direction. I would say I'm most just confident in our team chemistry. We're all older now, so we have most of our starters, or all of them except just 1 or 2, are juniors and seniors. So we have a lot of chemistry now, and we've been playing with each other for a long time. So the first goal is always to keep the title. We've had it. I mean, we've won the past 2 years, so keeping it for the third year in a row. And then the next goal would be to go on and perform well in state.
In national sports, if you haven't made your March Madness bracket yet, now's the time to do so. The fields for the NCAA basketball tournaments were set on Sunday, and on the men's side, Houston, Auburn, Duke, and Florida are their number 1 seeds. The first slate of first-round games will begin Thursday, but the first action of the tournament is slated for later tonight. St. Francis will take on Alabama State, while North Carolina will take on San Diego State in the first 4 games. The other first 4 matchups will take place later tonight, with Mount St. Mary's taking on American and Xavier clashing with Texas. The NBA regular season is winding down, putting a bigger emphasis on every play of the game. On Sunday, Paulo Banchero lifted Orlando Magic with an upset victory over the red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers, who were previously winners of 16 consecutive games. The Oklahoma City Thunder continued their second tear with a road win over the Milwaukee Bucks, thanks to a large part of their star guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who scored 31 points and had 8 assists in the win. Tokyo, Japan played host to the first regular season game of the 2025 season on Tuesday morning, with the defending World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, taking on the Chicago Cubs. Behind 5 innings of 1-run ball from Yoshinobu Yamamoto and 2 hits from Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers began their title defense with a win 4-1. That's all the sports updates I have for you, Cersei. Now let's send it back to the news desk.
Thanks for all the updates, Jordan.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today, Cersei. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cersei Highline TV.
And to follow us on X at Cersei Line TV, Instagram at Cersei Line TV, and on Facebook at Cersei High Line TV. Signing off, I'm Warren Kemp.
And I'm Marley Snow. See you on Friday, Cersei.